Hey, what's up, everybody? So I've kind of in a video making mood. I just got finished making a really good video with Arthur for our channel, Wrap Your Mind Around This. Um, but yeah, I still kind of want to just talk. And it's not for the sake of hearing me talk, but it's just, I don't know. It's just nice. It kind of feels like it's kind of hitting the spot right now. So, um, because pretty much all of my videos have been addiction recovery or mental health related, I kind of figured I would change it up a little bit for this video and do just a short video talking about the pros and cons, at least my experiences with being working as a registered nurse. I'm no longer a registered nurse. My license has been indefinitely suspended right now because I did have it, I was dealing with the substance abuse and mental health, and as a result, I do not have an active license. So I just want to make that clear. I also want to make it clear that this is just my experiences. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit more. And yeah, do switch it up a little bit. Because, I don't know, maybe this might help someone make a decision. And things probably have changed a bit, so take all of this with a grain of salt. But yeah, so with nursing, so I had, well, I guess I have a degree, I'm just not active. I have a degree in associates in nursing. And so that's kind of one of the pros, one of the kind of benefits. For the past forever, I've been hearing that hospitals are moving towards only hiring bachelors and up. But I don't know if that's still... I'm sure some places have. I think like magnet hospitals do, or at least need a certain percentage. But yeah, either way, if that is still a viable option, what's nice about that is, you can get through school pretty quickly. Usually you have like the prerequisites that you have to do, take about a year, give or take, at least with my community college. And that's what's nice too, is through a community college, so cheaper than a university. I do know that other universities do offer a nursing program, but I'm sure it's much more expensive. But yeah, so like the prereqs, let's see, what did I take? Microbiology, some English, anatomy and physiology. And then after that, and getting accepted into nursing school, then it was about 2 years. For me, it took longer because I did have to withdraw from one of the quarters due to hardship. But I did eventually finish it. But yeah, super quick, and right off the get-go, I mean, I was making pretty decent money. I know that's not the case with every, new nurses, especially new nurses. It just kind of depends on, where you work, probably like what degree you have, yeah, cost of living, where you live. But yeah, I was making really good money. And that's pretty awesome for just like 3 years of schooling. And so that's definitely a benefit. They also do offer accelerated bachelors of nursing. I don't know exactly how long those are, but I do know that those are much quicker than the 4 years. I want to say like maybe 2.5 years. So that's a good option, but I think those are also more expensive. Because that's another benefit or a pro of becoming a registered nurse is, and again, please look into this, but it's kind of nice because if you can get a job working as a registered nurse with an associate's, a lot of facilities, like bigger hospitals, will pay for you to at least pay some amount of money for you to go back to school. And it's nice because then you can go back to school while you're working as a nurse, have some of it paid for, and then further your degree, get a bachelor's or a master's, so on and so forth. So that's a pretty good benefit as well. Another pro, I would say, with nursing is there are a lot of different fields and specialties that you can do working as a registered nurse. And I'm talking about RNs because there also are LPNs or LVNs. Those are licensed practical nurses or licensed vocational nurses. Very similar to the scope of practice of a registered nurse, but they have a registered nurse has a little bit bigger of a scope of practice over LPNs and LVNs, and I do believe they get paid less. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there too. This is just my experience with becoming a registered nurse. But another one of the benefits, I mean, you can get a job in so many different fields. I mean, I worked in behavioral health, and then also the last facility was a behavioral health and substance detox. But you can work as school, like in schools, at a clinic, outpatient or like community outreach, med surge, neurology, oncology. There's just so much you can go into, which is pretty nice because that way, and also, I do know that some RNs can become case managers. They can become nurse managers or director of nursing. So, if bedside care, I assume it would probably be best for you to have some bedside care experience before you would have a good shot at being hired as non-bedside, but I can't say that for sure. But that is nice because, if you do end up getting a job working at a hospital on one of the floors and it's really not your cup of tea, you can always move to a different floor or different specialty, or try to go the non-bedside route. So that flexibility is really nice. I mean, there's travel nurses that make bank. I mean, I still get offers in my email for nursing, and some of the travel RNs are making like $120 an hour or more, which is so crazy. That's mind blowing. I don't know why my ticks have been so bad. And then another pro too, of course, being a caregiver. I know it's kind of a pro and a con, or at least pro and maybe neutral. It just depends on kind of your persona or your character. That's one of the things that really interested me in becoming a nurse, was to be able to help people, take care of people. But it can be extremely draining on you as well. And nurses and medical staff in general are notoriously bad for not practicing adequate self-care. We're too wrapped up and busy taking care of others that we don't take care of ourselves. And I've been struggling with substance abuse a lot of my life, so I'm not blaming nursing, but I believe there's higher rates of substance abuse in medical professionals, including nursing, due to the stressors at work, sometimes due to the availability. I mean, when I was working as a nurse, we had a Pyxis, the med machine, that had tons of narcotics. And that I would give. That's one thing I'm really proud of, or at least I'm glad that I can state, is that I've never diverted medications, which means essentially stealing the meds from work. I think that's really messed up and it's really stupid, because eventually you're going to get caught, but more importantly, I mean, one of the ways to kind of escape getting caught is to essentially chart that you gave it to a patient, but you don't, or you give half a dose and you save half a dose, which I think is especially messed up because, and don't get me wrong, I'm an addict, I know how that goes, but that's pretty crappy to be taking, especially pain relief or anxiety relief, to take that away from a patient just so you can get high. So yeah, I'd say those are about the pros. If I didn't say so, I guess I didn't kind of say completely, but the pay, like I said, I got paid really well. The benefits are pretty solid as well. And being able to go back to school and have it paid for or partially paid for is also pretty beneficial. And then as far as the cons go, I mean, the whole being a registered, having to get and maintain a license, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a big con, but that is something to keep in mind. Depends on the state you live. The one I do, I believe you renew every year. You pay a fee, commit or submit an application, and you're supposed to get do continuing education credits, which is kind of just like side stuff that you learn, like a class on, or like a lecture on COVID or something, for example, would be the CEUs, and you need a certain amount of them to renew your license. The state that I work in, they don't require proof right off the get-go, but they do reserve the right to audit. So at any point, if you resubmit or recertify, they can ask you to send proof. And then if you don't have proof, then you're pretty screwed. Fortunately, that's never happened to me. But I wasn't working as a nurse for too long anyways. And then the stress of the job too. It is a pretty demanding job. Like I said, it's really draining, especially where you work. For me, working in the behavioral health and even detox really drained a lot of my empathy. And that was especially bad paired with the lack of self-care. So that is another thing to kind of just be aware about. And that's just kind of patient care in of itself. Sometimes you'll get high patient ratios, so you'll be in charge of taking care of a lot of patients, and you might be overwhelmed. So that's, yeah. And then, like I said too, with the license, it's just, in the case of something like substance abuse, there are avenues to get your license back and maintain it, but it's a pain in the butt to do that. So, yeah. So I just wanted to make another video just because, like I said, I'm in a talkative mood, and I wanted to talk about something that's not recovery focused. So I appreciate everyone watching. I hope everyone's staying safe out there and is living the best life they can. And I'll see you guys next time.